as promised, the Eleaf Istick 30. Let's go down, let's have a look, see what we get. Here we are, Istick 30 watt sub ohm. What have we get in the box for our money? The Istick 30. Little pull tab. What have we got underneath? Another little compartment. A couple of bits inside of there. Instruction manual of how to use it. Go through that in a bit. USB charger, Euro connection. I'm in the UK, so I've got to use an adapter with that. USB cable, and it is a micro USB. I've already taken it out. Oh! And you also get an Ego adapter, just in case you want to put an Ego onto it. Back to that, what have we got? Nice and compact size to it. Fits well in the hand. 5-click system to turn it on and off. Start up at the top. I have used this so you can see a few scratches up at the top. Got a 510 connector up at the top with a spring-loaded centre pin. A couple of airflow channels, stainless steel 510 connector so that it's more hard wearing. We've also got a ramp to it, makes it more ergonomically friendly, and we've got a little ledge there. We'll come to that in a moment. Nothing round the back, nothing on each side apart from the little logos. Eleaf Istick 30 watt. Coming round the front, you've got your fire button, you've got your display, up and down buttons, and that's it. Round on the bottom, you've got your micro USB connector and do not put it in the bin sign when you see. Never put batteries in the bin. Dispose of them correctly. It has got a built-in battery. It is a 18350 battery. If you get to the end of the life of the battery, you can replace them. There is videos out there on YouTube already of how to replace your battery. Taking your end covers off, you've got to remove that the plastic screen and then unsolder it, solder a new one in. I'm not going to go into that. That's for another one, another video. Nothing more on the outside. Let's get closer to this. The screen functionality. What have we got? No atomizer. 5 clicks on and off. Turn it back on again. Oh, don't seem to be counting today. The wattage up and down will go down from 5 watts all the way up to 30 watts. Doesn't round robin, just stays there. Moves quite quickly. One push and it moves up pretty quick. If you want to stop at a particular wattage, you've got to stop somewhere close to it and then go individual pushes. It's got variable voltage as well, which is 3 clicks of the power button or your fire button, and it goes into voltage mode. Voltage range is from 2 volts all the way up to 8 volts, and it will show you the applied wattage across the bottom for the ohms that you've got connected to it. Put it back into wattage mode. Fingers are not working today. There you go. So at the bottom there you can see the applied voltage for the wattage. It's not changing on this one because I've not got an atomizer connected. Stopping at 3.3 volts. We'll go through that in a moment. At the side of that you've got your battery life indicator. When you're charging, it has a little lightning symbol on it to tell you that it's charging. That does actually move down when you're using it, and also when it's charging you've got that happening. But also if you have it switched off, it tells you how much time is remaining, or relatively. Sorry, it tells you the battery state. But if you unplug it, it just goes off. So if you like to know exactly how much there is while you're charging it, switch it off and that stays on. Once it's fully charged, that will disappear. Charge wise, I vape it with a 1 ohm. I vape it on 10 watts. I vape all day, and it lasts me a good day and a half, 2 days before it needs charging. I've never got to the point where I need to charge it up. Normally got it with my careful light. Normally got it with my careful light on it. It performs pretty well. While I've got the careful on it, there's the little step. So previous ones that used to overhang. So this one is, there's a little step on it because that's not actually 22mm. It's 23mm. You've just got, it's barely noticeable. But the good thing about that, with it being slightly bigger than 22mm, take that one off and put the Tufon GT2, which is 23mm. If I put that one on, it's a good compromise between the two. Can't feel anything on there, and it holds your airflow ring securely. Let me go back to the K-Fon just to show you something that I've noticed with it. It's got a heartbeat. If you notice, I've not got it screwed on, but if you notice, the ohms are at 0. If you screw it in, oh, timed out. You screw it in, the ohms change. So it's actually reading your ohms live. It is a 0.9 ohm built at. So you unscrew it, changing your ohms. So it's constantly monitoring your ohms. But I'm going to get back to that because it gives you a little bit of negativity with it, as far as I'm concerned. A little bit of a problem. go to that in a bit. Put my dome on it. .6. Now, what it also does, go unscrew it, drop it down to 5 watts. Now this is a 0.6 ohm build. You wouldn't vape 5 watts on a 0.6. What it does, because it's constantly monitoring your coil, if you screw it in, it will adjust itself for the range. Let me just come back so that you can see I'm not pushing any buttons. No atomizer. Screw it in. Drop it down to 5. No atomizer. Go on. Screw it in and it jumps up. Then shows you the applied voltage. It's going to give 2 volts for that wattage. But you're never going to use it at that anyway. So it just adjusts the voltage. I go up in the wattage, bump it up to 30 watts. 30 watts is going to give 4.2 volts. Drop it down. It won't go any lower than 6.6, which is a good thing. So if I put a, let's see if I've got, if I can find it, just got a little cartomizer. This is a 2.4. Screw it onto the ego. Change that over to that. Bump it up to 30 watts. It's not connected. 30 watts. You wouldn't vape one of them at 30 watts, or no sane person would. So screw it in, it's automatically going down. But look at the voltage. It's going to give you 7.6 volts to apply that wattage, where it will come down all the way to 5 watts. Back up. 30 watts. Drop it down. So if you get one of your builds that isn't quite there, got a bit of a loose wire, it will adjust itself accordingly. So it's a little bit of a safeguard for you. I'm just going to go and set up the multimeter with it to show you a little problem that I've got with it. So let me set up and I'll come back to you. Here we go. I've just got the multimeter set up on frequency just to show you something. Try and get both of these in screen. Just go on to the positive pin, the negative pin. When the screen's on, if you can see the screen of the multimeter, 3.8 Hertz. It's a frequency. So it's giving out a voltage. It's not really registering on AC, just up and down. Go up to DC. It's not really registering there. A bit weird. We'll go on to Hertz. So there's something happening there while the screen is still on. Screen's gone off. It's gone off. So nothing's happening when the screen's off. When the screen comes back on, 3.884 Hertz. So something happening 4 times a second. Let me put a coil in and let's see what that's all about. Just put the base on to me sub-tank mini. So switch it back on. When I fire it, there you go. When the screen's on, can it actually pick that up? See how we're still smoking on that. Picking it up. Yeah, still smoking. Screen's just gone off. Now we're not smoking. So every time your screen is on, you're getting power to your coil. Don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Using it, let me put the K-foam back on it. Just put it back to 15 watts. Let's have a vape. Just vape that. There's my little air roll at the side. Not vaping. Smoke coming out the side. I'll show you a little bit more of that when we get back up top. But it's not something that's a problem, it's just something that I've noticed. Maybe a problem for some of you, may not be. I think that's about enough up close and personal with it. So let's go back up top and let's have a vape. Let's wrap this video up. Catch you in a minute. There we go. Close up look at the Eleaf Istick 30. I've just stuck a little clearer miser on it just to show you the step, because you do get the ego thread with it. So if you look at that, you have got a little bit of a step on it. So it is suited more ergonomically for the 22-23mm atomizers, but push comes to shove, you can always stick a small tank on it and you can still use it. I'm just bumping this down to 7 watts, 2.3 ohms, and it's giving out 4 volts. Performing superbly. You're going to get longer battery life with it. The battery is a 2200 milliamp hour battery, so if you're going away from your 650 milliamp hour stick battery, it's an option. If you are going over to rebuildables or larger tank, stick my K-foam light on it, pump it back up. Let's go to 15 watts, 0.9 build, 3.6 volts. Performing superbly. I'm not taking it up to the 30 watts yet, but it will no doubt perform fairly well on it. The only sub-ohm really that I've got is my dome. It's not really got the airflow to start long hits on it, but it is fairly long battery life on it, certainly at a 0.9 ohm build. I'm vaping on this all day, quite frequently as well, so it is lasting me about 10-15 watts, and it will last me all day. One thing I forgot to show you when I was up close: if your screen is upside down, lock the power, turn it off, push and hold your two power buttons, fingers are not working today, push and hold two power buttons and it turns it over. Come back out and you're the other way around. So if you like to vape left or right handed, make sure your power's locked, turn it off, push and hold your two up and down buttons, turns it back over. So if you want to vape it left-handed or right-handed, you can tell what the state is. When you turn it to left and right-handed, the battery indicator, when it's switched off, doesn't change. It's always that way up. Charger being at the bottom, you've got to lie it down to charge it. You can't stand it up. Other than that, buttons seem to be pretty good, not rattling. Position of the button is, for me, it's pretty good, because if you've got your thumb there, you can operate it. I have actually operated it that way with the pad of my thumb. If you've got it that way, the curve feels nice in the thumb, and you can fire it with your finger. You can even fire it with the pad of your finger. So they're not too hard to push. I'm not squeezing that hard, it's just a light touch. But it's not too light where you catch it. It's got a bit of a click to it. So it sits nicely in the hand. I've got multimeter's bleeping at me. I've got about a medium size man's hand, which is about a size 8. It fits in there quite nicely. Compare it to the MVP. It is smaller than the MVP height wise, width. So it's about the same thickness. So that's the MVP. MVP2, sorry. It will be a little bit higher, but I've cut the adapter down, so that's what you're looking at. So it is quite small for you ladies out there, or gents with small hands. I know a few blokes with small hands. Shut up! What's it going to cost you? Well, have a look on the internet. There's a few sites out there. It is a box with a battery in, so you're going to be paying for the battery, you're going to be paying for the box itself. If you look at the Kanga K box, there's no battery in it, it costs you less, but you've got to get your battery. This one's got a built-in battery, so it's going to cost you a little bit more. Am I happy with it? Of course I am. I use it all day. I used to use me MVP2 and my Nemesis. That's all I use now, is that one. Get in the car, stick the charger in it, I can vape it or I can charge it. It is a pass-through, so you can vape it while it's charging. In fact, switch it off, charging, we're back on, and if you notice the charging symbol is on, so we're charging. And we're vaping. When it gets up to full charge, it just turns itself off, goes onto the battery, takes a little bit out of the battery, switches the charging back on. So you've got good flexibility on it. I think that about wraps it up for this. There's nothing more I can say. Seems to be just waffling. If you've got any questions, as usual, leave them in the comments below. If you've got any feedback on my videos or how I do things, let me know. Hit the like, thumbs up button. Don't just hit the thumbs down. I've got a video out there that somebody put, there's 2 thumbs down on it. Why? Let me know. Because we can't change things unless you tell us. But there you go. Some people just don't like that. Why not? Don't like that. Tell us, we'll change it. I've started doing something that I've not done before. I'm going to tell you what the next one is. Hopefully, on the next one, I'm not making any promises, I'm going to do a tutorial on wire rope. Wicking up with wire rope. So keep an eye out on my channel for that. Subscribe and you'll get notification when it's up. Hopefully I'm going to do it today. If not, be at my next opportunity, but I will get it done. So until then, catch you later. Stay safe.